Welcome to the SwimSwam podcast. I'm your host, Coleman Hodges. I'm joined today by three representatives from the East Carolina swim team. We've got Richard, Randy, and Ryan. Each go around and just introduce ourselves, say a little bit about who you are within the East Carolina program. Richard, maybe we could start with you.
That'd be fine. This is Richard Kobe, and I was the head swim coach at East Carolina for 35 years, 1982 to 2017.
Randy?
I'm Randy Palandro. I just finished up my sophomore year swimming at ECU.
And my name is Ryan Brennan, and I also finished my sophomore year swimming at ECU.
Awesome. So to get things started, I would like to start with today. Can you guys tell me a little bit about where you're at today, just kind of emotionally and also in coming to terms with your swimming careers, I guess?
Go ahead, swimmers. I'll let you answer this one, then I'll get in the financial part of it.
Gotcha. I'll go first. Right now, it still doesn't feel real. Not gonna be back at Minji's next year. It's kind of crazy to think about. I am in the transfer portal, so I might be switching schools. I'm not sure. There's a lot of things that have to happen. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. That doesn't feel real to me.
I am also in the transfer portal, but for me, I'm really struggling with deciding if I want to swim or if I want to continue at ECU because both are such a big part of my life now. So I'm sure. I mean, the support that we've seen trying to save the program is more than I could have imagined. So hopefully we can get somewhere with that.
Yeah, Richard?
Well, I retired 3 years ago. And I'm back working now since as of 2 weeks of yesterday, because that's when we found out that both programs had been eliminated. And I will just say that when we all heard this, I know I was having spent 35 years there, was shocked, angry, and all the emotions that you can imagine. This is a program, and I think everyone knows that it was one of the two top athletic teams on campus, and has been ever since its inception back in 1953. This program had been around for 66 years. It had incredible success. We've won 21 conference championships. We've won 4 of the last 6 championships in our conference, and 4 of 6 of the last championships at East Carolina. So when we heard that news, obviously we were scratching our heads. How can possibly, if not the best, one of the top 2 programs eliminated without any thought process of what would it take financially to bring it back? And at this point, we've got 600 plus alumni strong that we're meeting with a committee every 2 nights on Zoom. We've raised, over $400,000. We've got letters and emails. We're doing a media blitz starting next week with the TV and the newspapers. So we're trying to do the best we can to get the message out there. And basically what we would like is for, anyone that wants to help. We have our own website now. It's saveecuswimdive.org. Anyone that'd like to pledge, either to our GoFundMe program, which is to help with obviously the payments of the media blitz, and then a 5-year pledge form. So we're not giving up easy. We're just trying to get the word out. We'd like someone from the administration to reach back to us and say, you know what, let's see if we can't make this happen. Let's see if we can bring back sport with so much success and history. So at this point, that's kind of where we are. And we hadn't heard yet from anybody, but that doesn't mean we won't. We're making calls every day. We've got not only a media blitz next week, but a call and email blitz. So we're not going to go away easy. But we want the swim community to realize that at some point we've got to stop what's happening to these so-called non-revenue programs, because we all know that most programs at any university are non-revenue. Even football. If you're not winning, you're losing on the financial side. So somehow this needs to stop.
Yeah. So on that note, you brought up some of East Carolina's history and how that kind of didn't make sense. It's obviously it's a very storied program. I'd like to continue with getting some of your perspectives on what drew you to East Carolina. Richard as a coach, Randy and Ryan as swimmers, and what made East Carolina so special to you all.
Go ahead, guys.
Well, for me, what drove me was the experience. When I was on campus on my trip, I immediately felt as a part of a family. They got along well. They're great people. It was really a family-oriented program. Top to bottom, senior to freshman, everyone felt as one. It was a really great experience for me.
When I decided to swim in college as a freshman, I actually wasn't sure if I was going to go swimming in college, so I didn't talk to many schools. I didn't even take a trip to any schools, and Coach Jobs reached out and told me he was going to give me a shot and said I could, with the swimming in college, it could be a really good thing for me, so he gave me a shot. And the second I came, like Ryan said, it was just everyone was supporting everyone, and it was just you knew you had 50 friends right off the bat when you stepped on campus. So I think that was my favorite part, and that's what I'll miss the most.
Richard?
Well, I tell you, I came here in 1980, and I came as an assistant coach under Ray Scharf and took over in 82, and I was a grad assistant at West Virginia University. So I was in Raleigh for 2 years as an age group coach, and then got the call to come here as a teaching faculty and as the assistant coach of the university teams. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't know much about East Carolina until I obviously got on campus, and then it was incredible. I mean, the atmosphere, fans, everything just grabbed me. And then when I took over in 82, I stayed, and I'm still here. And so it's a very special place with very special people. And I've said this many times before, it just didn't feel like the Pirate way what happened. That's not who we are as Pirate fans and so forth. So hopefully with this media blitz, we'll get the message out. Everyone's kind of heard what went on, but we need to have them see a little bit and hear a little more, and hopefully things can change.
Yeah. And so that kind of leads us to the day the program got cut. Did any of you three see this coming whatsoever? Was there any signs of this? I know we had reported a few days after the program was cut that the school, the athletics department had maybe had some financial trouble, but I don't know if that was really made public or came to light before these cuts started. So what was that day and that experience like for you three?
So earlier in the
ahead.
week,
No, you go.
Earlier in the week, we were told from one of the athletic compliance people that we had a compliance meeting on Thursday, not really knowing where it was going to go, what was going to happen. We heard that they were thinking about cutting sports, but everyone was told that they had a compliance meeting. So when that Thursday came, it was around like noonish, and within the first 5 minutes, he said we were cut, and it was just shocking. I didn't think we would be cut, especially coming off of a championship year. I couldn't believe it.
I remember the Tuesday before is when I started reading online the articles about ECU cutting up to 4 sports. And of course, I was like worried, but I didn't think that it would be us. And then I remember shortly after that, we got the email about the meeting with the athletic director about compliance. And I remember people on the team, we were all talking and we were like, no, there's no way. And then I started to get a little more worried. And then I remember waking up that Thursday and I was thinking to myself, there's no way. I was really positive about it. And like Ryan said, within the first 5 minutes, we heard that we were going to get cut along with tennis. And directly after that, we had a team meeting with everyone's cameras and sounds on, and you could just see the devastation in everybody's eyes, and it was not a good time.
I didn't find out till the coach Matt Jabs called me when he found out. So it was a surprise to all of us, and it's unfortunate because we could have worked on what we're working on now to have saved this program. Now we're still working on to save it, but you know that we're not going to have everyone that was on the team back just because these kids can't wait around, which is unfortunate because as Ryan said, the guys are coming off the championship. This is the only championship the university won all year, and so I think the financial problems here are real. I think they're looking at a $10 million deficit. But I got to tell you, the little bit of budget that the university swim program is on is not going to help that at all. And we're ready to raise, and we have raised a lot of money and ready to help support and fund the program. We just need to get that green light so we can make it more official. When things are official, folks are more apt to give some money. So we're working hard. We're doing all kinds of interviews and podcasts and whatnot. Some of these guys are turning into media stars. But this all we want is an ear, and we're going to keep working on this thing because we realize that some of these athletes are not going to be back. But the important issue is to have this program back, and then we can work from there. So, anyone that's listening to this, once again, get on that website. It's a whole story about what's going on, and we're not going to go easy. We're not going to go without a fight. That's who we are. So things have just begun. We're just starting to get rolling here. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and just to reiterate and to be clear, you have raised over $400,000 to reinstate this program, but you've gotten no direct answer from athletics or compliance about what it might take to reinstate the program. Is that correct?
That is correct. And we have a couple of donors that have deep pockets that truly are ready to give, much more so than what's in that fund we have right now. So we just need someone to listen, and it's shocking that at this point we haven't. It's not like this program was on the edge or it was had no tradition or history. And I hate to say it, but we have several of those, a few of those on campus. But yeah, so like I said, we're keep on saying we're waiting for that hero to come forth. Hopefully, maybe it's our athletic director that says, you know what, maybe we can make this work. We don't have any need for anything to be done in the facility. That I think that was brought up as an issue, but it's not. It's not at all. That facility was renovated about 6 years ago. It's absolutely gorgeous. I call it the Cameron Indoor Stadium of natatoriums. We don't need anything but water now.
And so, one more financial question for you, Richard. Do you have a rough estimate or of an idea of what is the yearly cost of the men and women's ECU
I
swim
do.
team?
I have the exact number. I think all the sports took a 20% cut
Mhm.
last year. And I think the budget for each men's and women's program was right at $650,000. That
Okay.
includes scholarships, coaching salaries, operating budget. And, when you're $10 million in debt, 650 grand is not going to save you much, especially when the athletes last year, they paid over $800,000 out of their own pocket to go to school. So, okay, the athletic department may be saving a little bit of money, but the university is losing close to $1 million a year. And the
Yeah.
athletics is also losing some alumni. I can't tell you the number of Pirate Club people that have called me and some of our own alumni, and the potential to have even more alumni out there that are giving back is going to be lost. So the financial, it was a quick fix for a long-term problem. And
Hmm.
it's not, it won't help. It just won't help.
Yeah, I mean, and doing some very quick and rough math, that's 1.3 million for both programs annually, and you guys have already raised 400,000, which is roughly a third of that, um, which is really incredible. Can we talk a little bit about that experience? All three of you, how have you guys been a part of this fundraising experience? How have you engaged and supported the program, from the time that it was cut up until now?
So I actually created the petition on change.org, and it exploded and went up. I think we're at 18,000 signatures right now. But other than that, I've been sharing on my Instagram stories, Twitter, about what people can do to help save it and just spread the word around.
Yeah. What are some of those things that people can do?
Well, obviously, donate to the GoFundMe. I think that's the biggest thing right now we're trying to
Yep.
push towards. The GoFundMe account will go to media and advertising, which would show people what happened and how to help fix it. Sharing the going to the Swim ECU Swim and Save ECU Swim Dive website is a good way to help save. There's a lot more information, a lot more facts and stuff on there. That would be another good way to help, and pretty much just spreading the word.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just getting the word out there and letting people know how hard we're working for it and all the support we're getting. I've been sharing on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, I think is a good one because all my family is spreading it to everyone they know and just trying to get the word as far as it can go.
Yeah, that's excellent. And once again, that was saveecuswimdive.org, and it's been up and running for I think 3 days now. That really explains our story, and anyone that likes to give, it's right there. But money talks, and like you said, we've raised that much, and we have a lot more that we could raise. So much more if someone would just crack that door open a little bit and give us a shot. I mean, once again, this is one of the storied flagship programs. People were shocked. I mean, not just athletes, but just regular folks in Greenville and Pirate Club people. So we need their help too.
Yeah, I know it might be hard to see it in a positive way, but have you found good things to come out of this? It certainly seems like many from alums to common citizens have rallied around this program. And when you get a group of people coming together, it can be very powerful and really positive, as we've seen from the fundraising campaign and as we've seen from your social media campaigns. Could you share any unexpected positives that has come from this initial program cutting?
Well, I mean, I'm not sure that there's a lot of positive. It's nice to see our alumni rally, but you realize that anytime a program gets dropped, it's heartbreaking. So the only positive thing at all, would be the fight that all these alum have for their program, and obviously the people in town and whatnot. But we need a lot more people to be passionate about it, because the only way this is going to be positive, in the long run, is to bring it back. It would be my view.
I knew we had a lot of support from our alumni. We had the alumni meet and the alumni tailgates, and all the people who have swim on the team would come up to me and the rest of the team and talk about their stories and how good of a time they had. But seeing it now on the Facebook, especially with all the posts and all the support and the videos and everything, it's just great to see that people aren't giving up and they're trying really hard to let us continue to do what we love to do. So that is a good thing. If none of this has been easy, but if there was one positive, I would say the support would be the best.
Yeah, definitely. Just the support from the alumni has been awesome. It's been cool to meet some of the people and some of the former swimmers and share stories. And that's the best part, if there has to be one, about this whole experience. Just knowing how many people are behind us, fighting for us to continue to swim.
Yeah, absolutely. To kind of end on a positive note here, even though obviously this is not a positive thing, do you guys have highlights or a favorite story from your ECU experience that you could share to really, drive home the importance of this program?
Yeah, definitely. The moment I felt like I was a pirate, I would have to say, is my first college meet. I didn't know what to expect. It was against UNC Chapel Hill, and it was in Minges. So Minges was rocking. It was loud the whole entire time, which I thought was the craziest thing. I was from high school, from small town. No one really went to the meets, and just going to being in a meet at Minges, it was crazy. Everyone was going nuts the entire time.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think, again, my favorite part was just having those teammates there for you in the pool, out of the pool, no matter what you're doing, like dorms. And like, if I ever wanted to go get food, I would just text in our group message and like ask the team who wants to go get food. And we would all go together at meets, no matter what you're swimming, who's swimming, everyone was cheering like you were winning every event you swam. And that was always made me want to go faster, and no matter how I was feeling. So I just think the family atmosphere is the biggest part that I liked.
And Coleman, I'll say both these guys said it best. When we have meets in Minges Pool, there's not 100 people there. There's several. The place is always packed, and typically it's standing room only. And I coached there for 35 years, and so obviously about half of our meets were on the road. And when we were on the road, typically we outnumbered our opponents' parents at away meets. So, that's what makes this decision even harder, because we weren't swimming at home in front of, just mom and dad. The place was slammed, and the atmosphere I've never seen it at any other facility.
Yeah. Well, Ed, do you guys have any closing thoughts, remarks, comments stories that you would like to share before we wrap this up?
I just want to talk about the last day at conference this year. It was absolutely magical, I would say. We were projected to lose that meet by 14 points going into the final session. And everything was perfect for us. 200 back, Merrick came out and win. 100 free went amazing. 2 breast. The mile was great. That was probably the greatest session I've ever been a part of. Everyone was screaming. It was loud. It was like we really came together as a team, and we won. And it was awesome. That was just crazy. I love that. That was also a great moment.
I think if that had to be the end, it would be the perfect way to end. But I also think that was going to roll into next year and the following years. That day, everyone was just so pumped, and I know we were all so ready to get back in the pool, continue that on. So,
yeah, my closing comment would just be, people, let's not take it this anymore. It's time for the swimming community to stand up and just say, this is not going to happen. We can save this program, and we can save more than just our program. We can save some of these other programs. We should not be the reason for, bad decisions, at any university. You just can't cut the best sport on campus. It makes no sense. So, we're just asking folks to bring us back. We're ready.
Well, Richard, Ryan, Randy, it was so great to talk to you. Thank you so much for your honesty and sharing your perspective. And hopefully we can get ACU Swim and Dive back up and running. Thank you so much for your time.
thank you.
Colin.
Thank you.
Hey, do you love SwimSwam as much as I do? Do you want hours of endless practice footage, race video, and a guide to the best pancakeries in the country? Then subscribe to our YouTube channel below. And follow us on social media at SwimSwam News on Twitter and Instagram. If we get 1 million followers, I might just eat 1 million pancakes. Only one way to find out.